You busy? You got me on speakerphone? Well, take me off, because I got to tell you all that I see. Welcome to the in-house, where I'm doing reviews and recaps in 10 minutes or less. Because if I can't tell you in 10 minutes or less, then it don't need to be told. Hey, welcome, y'all. Welcome to my channel. This is all new to me. This is my first time doing a live reaction. I was on a little earlier and I had some issues with my stream yard, but hey, I'm learning and I'm getting in these YouTube streets. So y'all just sit back with me and let me learn with you. So I'm here today and you're all in with your girl All.i.C. So already. I'm giving a live reaction, the spoilers of the season finale, first season of It Welcome to Derry. Y'all, I got my little scale up here, my little rating scale, and the whole season as a whole was a 10 out of 10. I mean, the writing, the acting, these some badass kids, y'all, and I'm not talking about just in their behavior. I'm talking about that acting was spot on. All of the adults were really good. The guy who played Pennywise off the chain had to sit in there. I looked at some of the behind the scenes, the makeup he had to go through, the time, the voice change, all that. I mean, they kept the energy going the whole season. All the episodes were action-packed, very detailed. I mean, even down to history. So, like I said, this is my first time going live. Not gonna be the last one because I'm jumping up off the porch today. So, it's spoilers. And I'm not gonna go too deep. I'm trying to be on here for 10 minutes or so, if that, but hey, if the spirit leads me, I'm gonna stay on longer. But anyway, we're gonna kind of jump into some of my in-house review segments and some of the top moments. So let me get my notes. I'm always gonna have my notes, my phone and stuff, whatever. Y'all gotta get used to that. Um, but I'm looking at some of the things that's happening, and the first thing that happened. There it is. I'm back. Thank you to the few people that's watching and to the people on the replay. Don't get mad at me. But another thing, y'all, guess what? Y'all heard the little NO bounce that they added to the this is my jam. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, that's our intro. Man. So hey, that's my little intro song for the season finale. But the first thing that it starts off with is the fog. Now, just like I kind of said in some of my other videos, and I'll be posting all of those soon. Um, it freaked me out when I was a kid back in the 90s. And you know how every little town, every little city, we have those urban legends. So as a kid, we had, I can't think of the guy's name, and everybody was like, you better get in the house before such and such come out the woods and come get you. So watching Pennywise, and I was always with my boy cousins, and they didn't have no fear. So I had to not be scared with them, and they be like, Alley cat, just watch the ending so we know how to get rid of them. So, as a kid, that made sense to me. But when it came to walking down the street, I wasn't getting by no potholes, no sewers. You can miss me with that because I was gonna fight that clown. I was scared after hanging with the boys. Hold on, so I see comments. Hey, support gaming. That's my little bro. How you doing? Yes, you gotta watch the show. I didn't think it was gonna be all of that, but since I'm big with prequels, and so now it's making so much sense. And now I gotta go get deep into the Stephen King collection. Now I ain't gonna read the books because I ain't got through the whole Bible, so I'm not reading the whole book like that. But a lot of the shows. I did get into The Shining. That was pretty good with Jack Nicholson. And then it also hits on Dick Halloran, who was in here. He had what they call The Shining. Some of us down south call this Sight. Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all those things or whatever. And I'm telling everybody I'm new to these YouTube streets, so just, follow along and help me along or whatever. But anyway, Stephen King has like such a collection, and all of his stories in some way come together. So with this season finale, after if you watch the last episode, the military is messing with this entity, okay? And the natives, which many of us are, they had already had him shielded in the woods. But somebody in the military wanted to go and always messing with stuff, okay? If you watch the show, you'll see who I'm talking about. It's always the folks that love messing with stuff. Leave things exactly where they are, please. So they went and they removed one of the shards. It was like a protection that this animal or whatever monster was, this entity came in. So the natives kind of enclosed him in. But it had to be one dummy in the military that wants to put fear back in America. Okay. So this one shard, which was protection from this, it awakened Pennywise, and he comes every 27 years to wreak havoc, to eat on the children because they were easy targets. So this whole town is like really wacky. The parents don't pay attention to the kids. I don't know. I'm an 80s baby, so we used to get it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are type thing? And Derry, hey, them kids just run rapid, even when they had a curfew after all these kids that got slaughtered. You see all these missing signs going around. But anyway, after they done awoken this sleeping giant, he had fed on the town. He went to the black spot, ate up the military. The black people was having their own little juke joint in the woods. He done came over there. He done, and the people who was kind of like the Ku Klux Klan, they came through there and they done shot the building up, put it on fire, all these things, looking for a man that was innocent, okay? So Pennywise plays on fear. He smells that and it just makes him want to eat on you. And so I just really equate him with the devil. That's just my thing. But anyway, he once he wakens up, this fog and this mist comes across the town, and I mean it's thick. It looked like somebody was smoking, and all these people just looking at the smoke. You know us, we gonna run because I'm not gonna sit there and be enclosed with this smoke. You see baby carts passing by, women holding babies, people trying to figure out. I can add you as my support. But I got to figure out how to do that. Let me see. So thank you for enjoying the live. I got to figure out how to do it. But anyway, so as soon as the episode starts, like I said, it's fog and they all trying to figure out what's happening because the adults in the town are lousy. Like they maybe have been so indoctrinated and he's had their mind for so long, they don't just recognize things that's happening. Stuff happens to the kids, things going on, and they just believe whatever the media tell them, message, and all of that or whatever. So immediately when Pennywise wake up from his slumber, he went to the young boy Will, and he has this like light that comes out of his mouth and put these people in a trance, okay? Their eyes just go a whole nother shade, like they out of there, whatever. So he goes to the high school. He can shape shift into whatever he wants to. So he goes into the principal office. And you remember the principal office that had the do-do-do? He was up there and he done got on the announcement and he like, hey, school canceled for the rest of the day. Y'all gone up into the auditorium. We need to have a meeting. But for some reason, they end up in the gym. Maybe that's the auditorium or whatever. So the kids get in there and he say, even the upperclassmen, y'all gone on home. He don't want the older kids. He wants the little kids, the innocent ones or whatever. I guess the ones who can't fight. So as they go in there, one of the little girls, she's called the patty cake. She's the mean girls, and they do this, the patty cakes or whatever. They talk about everybody. They always start a mess. I guess they had a little money. They was the bougie girls, okay? So he goes in there and he has the principal as though he's talking. Next thing you know, he done pulled the principal head off, slammed it up against the wall, started doing his little dance, and the kids are trying to go out the gym and all of that, and he does the little lighting thing again, okay? So he He has them levitating up in the air. Hold on, I'm trying to see them. He got them levitating up in the air because they all scared and all those things or whatever. So after Richie, um, oh yeah, watch it. It's on HBO Live. Um, After Richie passed or whatever, the kids are still going to their little spot. They up there cleaning up and they notice like this fog is going all around the town. They see it. And I probably would have just stayed up there because this whole town is crazy. I probably would have just left it alone and watched or whatever. But the girls go down there, of course. And so they kind of checking in, trying to see, what's happening. And they go outside and see a building of all these like notes and letters of missing kids. So they're like, how did this happen or whatever? So Pennywise pretty much is drawing these kids on a carriage to eat them. So the young ladies who are the stars, which are Ronnie, Lily, and Marge, they like, hey, we gotta stop him. They have the little shard, which is like the thing that encloses him that scares him. So they like, hey, we gotta go find they friend Will because they saw one of the papers, it blew, and they like, oh man, he got Will, so now we gotta go find him. So even the milkman truck is out there and he done killed the milkman. So I'm assuming either he slowed all the adults down or maybe he put them in a slumber. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look into all the things or whatever. But some of the top 3 moments that I got from this was that the kids were really unified together. The actresses were really, really good. Some of the top moments though was the parents coming together, the native parents and the black parents, they got together and they went out there and had to fight the military to stop the beast. And one of the most satisfying scenes was when the General Shaw, the one that started all these things over again, when Pennywise finally got him, y'all, it was so satisfying to see him get him. He was a kid when he saw Pennywise years ago, and it scared him. And he was like, well, America needs to be scared again. These kids are doing this, this, and that, or whatever message, putting fear into the nation instead of trying to use it to fight wars or whatever. So Pennywise turned into the thing that scared him, which was a skeleton man when he was a boy. So that was one of the top 2 moments. One of the other top 3 moments was Richie. I don't know if Rich actually ended up having any type of fear, but he was able to come back by one of the native chief ladies. She brought him back, I guess, through the other world, and he went over there and he helped his friends put that shard back in the yard, and he flicked them off while he was doing it. So that was a great satisfaction. Let's see some of the shockers, and these are some of the segments that I'm trying to do or whatever. Some of the shockers that were there was how he did the man, how he threw the man head like a football, broke the glass in the gym. It's not funny, but it's funny. I'm sorry. Because some of the stuff that he be saying is funny. Another shocker, he would say some of the cruelest things to these kids, okay? He told the girls, Lily, Ronnie, and Marge, he was like, one of y'all a freak, one of y'all a fool, and another is a failure. And basically, I mean, y'all can choose which one you are. Basically saying they all part of that. And he called them the loser club and all that stuff, whatever. He called them a bunch of losers. So that was some of the things that was happening. What was whack in it? Anything that was really whack. I think since the episode was like a 10 out of 10, it wasn't too bad. Yes, I want to do something like a funny, petty segment, and Pennywise is petty all through it. The stuff that he'd say, Richie giving him the bird was a funny moment. And I guess some of my heart check-ins, it was the kids. When Ronnie was trying to help Lily with the shard, Lily started to turn into like on the Hobbit when they had the ring and they like, oh no, you can't touch the ring. That's basically the kind of power that this shard has because it has to go back to the ground somehow. And so Lily was holding on to it. She was turning pale. She was getting a little crazy. Ronnie had to tackle her down. Yet again, always one of us having to save the day. Ronnie stopped her and they talked about, are you an anchor or are you a lifeboat? And basically, Ronnie told Lily, like, you a lifeboat. And it just made her come back to life to let her know, like, you saved us, even though he's trying to tell you that you were trying to kill us. Really, you were trying to save us the whole time. So that was one of my heartfelt moments in the show. Another one was when Marge was at Rich's funeral, and she basically said, I knew him for a month. That whole time he had been admiring her, loving her for who she was. Um, and it was just the fact that she had love at a young age and didn't even realize it. And another heartfelt moment was when Rich would always throw his planes, his little paper airplanes through Derry. And he said, I wanted to land on Main Street. And when she was down that street, she finally saw it. And it was like a message sent from him. Another heart moment was at the funeral. The parents, of course, were upset and hurting. And Dick Halloran went over and let them know that the hand that you feel, that's your son, and he's gonna always be there for you. So I was like, oh. So yeah, my lashes, I wanted to take my lashes off after that or whatever, because I was crying. It was just so sad and so heartfelt or whatever. And some of the what other things I was gonna say? Some of the patterns and topics that I saw, for sure, the writers hit on a lot of history, racial division, things that we're going through right now, and that if we're divided, we can't see what we need to see and what we need to really come against. It's an entity out here that we all need to be against or whatever, and stay focused on that or whatever. As far as any predictions, of course, we already know it's a chapter 1, chapter 2. It's the one that started back in the 90s, and they got several different visions and versions. And I'm gonna go back and hit on all of them and watch them or whatever. And if you're gonna start, I will start with this one. And from my understanding, they already probably are locked in for season 2 and 3, which they deserve. And I hope they get all the awards for the writing, the cinematography, the acting, the music, all those things or whatever. I'm hoping that they get those. And those are like some of my final thoughts. It was really well put together. The topic of history, I mean, it relates to so much now. Minding our business, sometimes it don't always work. We the saviors of the day, and we always have those dummies that want to cause chaos and fear and end up being consumed by it. So it had a lot of messages in it. And so I rate this episode a 10 out of 10. As far as predictions, I'm hoping that it continues. I don't know if it's going to go back further, but because these actors were so good, they could possibly switch up the story a little bit. Ronnie ends up leaving the town, and they say that once you leave Derry, your memory leaves. And as Will said, he's going to be writing her, so maybe she may end up being the mother. I don't know. But as far as that, I hope that these young people and everybody on this show continues with great success. I'm locked in. Cause like I said, y'all in with me then already. So it was a really, really good show. I'm gonna be rewatching this episode and probably the others so I can go back and recap them, since I'm kind of getting the hang of doing these videos and everything. So just if you are here and you're on the replay, drop a crown in my comments. Tell me your thoughts. What did you like about the show? Give me some tips on what I can talk about, my segments, things like that, so I can kind of keep it popping for y'all. And this is your girl, and you're all in with me, All.i.C. So thank you for all those who came on, support gaming, and I'm gonna figure out how to make you a mod on here. And Matthew Romero, thank you for stopping. And I saw it was about 6 or 7 other people that kind of came in or whatever. I know I'm new to this and I'm rambling. I'm trying to get my segments together. And once I get it down pat, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be running. So and I'm learning how to do this system. So but anyway, check you guys out later. I'm gonna be having more recaps and things like that coming up soon. So see you later. Stay locked in and come part of the All In a Fam with me, your girl All.i.C. And if you're all in with me, then already. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll tell you what I see on the next one. Bye.